The second one we have from Germany, it's called Dinkel. Now, Dinkel is a product, an ancient grain, which is not grown in the US. In the US, we cannot obtain Dinkel, so we use the next best product available, and that's called Spelt. Spelt is an offshoot of wheat and Dinkel. The product is great tasting and has a little bit of a sour note. We have a grapefruit and nut mix, and we add this to the Dinkel to create a spelt fruit and nut, which you see over here. Same type of dough, just the addition of about 50% of this fruit and nut mix will give you a different bread for your selection. Another tip what I like to show you is how to make the topping for one of those breads, and that's for the Dinkel. We use sunflower seeds, as you see here, and a little bit of flour. I use a cake flour in here, and the only reason I do that because it's wider, the flour is wider. Obviously, if you want to be really true that this is all natural, then you couldn't use it because it's bleached. But this is very white, so I just use this. Mix the cake flour with the sunflower, just a little bit, like this. Then we'll make up our bread. And we would just wash it a little bit, spray it or wash it with water, and roll it into this. And what you would have is they are totally covered with the seeds. The white will stay on these seeds pretty much, and you see a difference. It's not your gray or brownish what you have all on other toppings. On the spelt bread, we have a very similar procedure. It's important that before you add the fruit to spelt bread, you want to make sure you let it sit a minimum of 30 minutes. I would even recommend 45 minutes, because the fruit will not let the yeast rise anymore. So it's very important that the yeast starts the activity before you add the fruit. So after 30 to 45 minutes, you want to add the fruit, which is a product we have. It's called a Gourmet Fruit mix. I use about 50% to dough weight of this product in my bread, and then we top it with just oats or sesame. Either one is fine, and bake it at somewhat of a lower temperature because the fruit contains a lot of sugar, natural sugar, but it is quite a bit. So instead of baking these at 420, you want to go down to about 370. Now we have mixed the fruit blend into the Dinkel dough, and we are now showing you what this looks like on the inside. Pretty much, this is with the 50% fruits added. If you like to, you can also add toasted hazelnuts or walnuts or pecans. We'll just round this. And brush with some water or spray it. Roll it into oats. And let it proof for about 60 minutes. And then bake at 360, 370 degrees, a much lower temperature than the other breads. As far as the cut goes, we can use a single cut or we can do a cross cut. And we also have here the ones with the band and without the bands. So definitely the bands add something to these breads. This is the spelt with fruits and nuts, or you can call it muesli. There's so many different names for this. It's a very popular bread in Europe. And it's great for breakfast. Just toast it or put a little butter or jam on there. It's excellent eating type of product.